Soft, melancholic piano music begins, almost imperceptible, a slight echo. Right, so you want to know what happened? You really want to know? Well, it's a bit of a tale, a cautionary one, I suppose. Honestly, it feels foolish even recounting it, like trying to grasp smoke. But if it can save someone else, if it can prevent even one darling soul from experiencing what I did, then all right. I'll dissect it. And it will be thorough. You deserve thorough. I always believed in complete transparency. My grandmother, bless her heart, she would always say, darling, a crooked line cannot create a square. And Hotel Villa Mahal Kalkan. It was all crooked lines, beginning to end. You see, I approach travel with a certain expectation. It isn't about extravagance, not precisely, though admittedly I do appreciate a well-appointed space. It's about integrity. A kind of unspoken agreement. You, the establishment, promise a specific experience, a respite, a fleeting moment of grace. I, the patron, invest my trust, my time, my money. It's a sacred trade, really. And when that trust is shattered, well, it feels like a fundamental violation, like a broken promise from the universe itself. Does that sound dramatic? It is, but it's also precisely how it felt. It started with the sailing yacht. Honestly, the sheer audacity of it. I booked this darling little excursion, the Mahal sailing yacht, months in advance, mind you, such planning, such anticipation. They took my deposit and would talk to me constantly to organize, and then nothing. Days before I was to be in Kalkan, they began to equivocate, a slow, insidious dance of postponement. The weather, they claimed, a convenient excuse. Except the weather was exquisite. I did my research naturally. Every other boat, every other tour operator was sailing, gleaming white hulls cutting through the azure, but their captain mysteriously decided to remain ashore. It's like having a chef say they can cook because the tomatoes look at them funny, don't you think? It's simply illogical, an insult. They offered no solutions, just a vague apology and a shrug. And then the realization dawned. They hadn't confirmed anything. They hadn't even tried to find an alternative. They just didn't care. The inconvenience, the disrupted plans, the dimming of excitement, it was all considered utterly irrelevant. It spoke volumes about their respect for customers, or rather the glaring lack thereof. I should have cancelled immediately, a healthy dose of self-preservation, but no, I allowed a sliver of hope to remain. A foolish inclination, perhaps rooted in a naivete that I am now actively dismantling. I thought perhaps the hotel itself will be a haven, a sanctuary. Oh, how wrong I was. The aesthetics, yes, they ray as advertised. The views are undeniably striking, but beauty, my dears, is only skin deep. It can cloak a multitude of sins. It's like a perfectly frosted cake hiding a layer of dust. It's the bait for the trap. The hotel itself, it possesses a certain faded grandeur. A once magnificent dame, now succumbing to the ravages of time and neglect. A tired aesthetic, I'd say. Each chipped tile, each threadbare curtain whispered tales of a glorious past now irrevocably lost. It's the kind of beauty that inspires sadness, not joy. I recognize something within it. I'll also tell you that if you ever visit a place and your grandmother would call it sad, it's a sign. The beach club, the absolute state of affairs. Oh, the indignity. Loungers fashioned from some sort of cheap roadside plastic. The kind you find outside a garden center. You're supposed to be in the heavens, but you're laying on things they get for $5. Not exactly conducive to a relaxing afternoon, is it? A stinging reminder of corner cutting and blatant disregard. And the service, or rather the conspicuous absence of it. I sat there for hours, 6.5 to be precise. From 11 in the morning until 6:30 in the evening.
NG, and I think...
Okay, here is the impression I get from the businesses surrounding Hotel Villa Mahal in Kalkan. It's a deeply unsettling one. A feeling like carefully constructed facades barely masking a pervasive sense of disappointment. Frankly, it feels like an area where the pursuit of a quick profit has overshadowed any genuine care for the visitor experience. It's a disheartening observation, and what follows will attempt to explain why. Let's begin. Businesses near Hotel Villa Mahal Kalkan seem to operate under a shadow of compromised quality, and frankly, a rather cynical approach to customer service. It isn't simply a handful of bad apples, a consistent pattern emerges, a lack of honesty, inflated prices, and a general disregard for establishing trust. It's a little bit like stepping into a stage play where everyone is pretending to be helpful, but the is falling apart. Let's start with the basics: procurement. The local Migros, the supermarket, appears to be a frequent source of frustration. It seems, generally speaking, that these types of markets in the area struggle with consistent stock quality and an unsettling disconnect between price tags and what you actually pay at the till. It's as if a game of chance is being played with your grocery bill. One individual remarked that prices at the local market, the bazaar, were a more honest proposition. Multiple accounts detail spoiled meat, chicken emitting unpleasant odors even after reaching home, and produce nearing its expiration date. Someone spoke of finding charcoal that was, and I quote, completely dust. Dust. Imagine planning a barbecue and receiving nothing but grey powder. Then there's the bewildering issue of mismatched pricing, shoppers reporting discrepancies of substantial amounts on their receipts, and staff seemingly unfazed by these errors. It's astonishing to hear people speaking of finding differences of hundreds of lira. One review even mentioned the pervasive, unpleasant smell within the store, a scent they described as concerning. It's the kind of place that seems to actively challenge your patience and your faith in basic retail standards. Moving on, we encounter the fitness options. Calcon Gym, and it pains me to say this, appears to be clinging to existence by a thread of optimism, and perhaps a generous dose of denial. It's described as, and I'm using the reviewer's phrasing here, well, it's a gym. A minimalist assessment to say the least. The treadmills are apparently hazardous, akin to slippery slides. Apparently you could slide face first into the dumbbell rack. It's a waiting game to see if you finish, or make an unplanned intimate acquaintance with iron weights. Vital amenities like water are mysteriously absent, prompting suggestions you bring your own or learn to photosynthesize. The Pilates classes aren't included in standard memberships naturally. Everything is extra. It's a place that seems to operate on the principle that basic comfort and convenience are luxuries to be exploited. The kicker. There are other gyms nearby, seemingly better equipped and crucially providing actual water. It's a mystery why anyone would choose this one. Now this is where things become truly unsettling. The Mojito Lounge Club. This establishment, it seems, embodies a particularly virulent strain of exclusivity and, unfortunately, a rather aggressive approach to security. The overarching impression is one of blatant discrimination. Patrons have reported being denied entry if they aren't deemed to be of the right nationality, Russian or English specifically. And if you do manage to gain access, you're immediately pressured to purchase exorbitantly priced alcohol or face potential hostility. There are disturbing accounts of physical violence, of individuals being attacked by bouncers, and even, chillingly, by the owner himself. One reviewer described their brother being assaulted for simply placing a foot on a table. Fights actively encouraged.
Accounts of women being harassed. It's a place where aggression seems to be not just accepted, but actively cultivated. People speak of being physically shoved. It's a terrifying scenario. The stories are deeply disturbing. It presents as a calculated attempt to prey on tourists, capitalizing on their unfamiliarity with the local scene. It leaves you feeling violated. Finally, we arrive at the barber Calcon. Here, the issues center around skill, pricing, and the unsettling feeling of being deliberately overcharged. It appears that if you have curly hair, particularly, you should simply walk past. Patrons have described botched haircuts and a tendency to straighten curls before cutting, leading to significant damage. There are concerns about inflated pricing or a lack of transparency, with exorbitant fees charged for even simple services. Even people pleased with the cut itself mentioned being charged 600 lira. This, I find, is outrageous. One reviewer suggested the positive reviews are fabricated.
I've been looking into all these crimes near Hotel Villa Mahal, Calcon, and it's just so depressing. Like, I want to believe that people are good, but no. So restaurants and bars near Hotel Villa Mahal, Calcon are like super tricky. They'll add extra items to your bill, and you'll be like, wait, I didn't order that. But it's too late, they've already charged you. I predict that the tourists who got scammed were so upset, they probably didn't even want to eat anymore. Like, who wants to pay for something they didn't get? And the staff, they probably just shrugged it off, like, oh, sorry, mistake. Yeah, right. And then there are these super aggressive shopkeepers near Hotel Villa Mahal, Calcon. They'll push you to buy stuff you don't need. And if you say no, they'll be all like, oh, you're missing out on this amazing deal. No. I think the tourists who got pressured into buying stuff probably felt so guilty, they just gave in. And the shopkeepers, they're just like, cha-ching, more money for me, it's so wrong. And have you heard about the fake tourist information guys near Hotel Villa Mahal, Calcon? They'll be all like, oh, the museum is closed, but I know a great shop you should check out. And you're like, okay, sure. But no, it's just a scam to get you to buy overpriced stuff. I predict that the tourists who got scammed were so frustrated, they probably didn't even want to leave their hotel room anymore. And the scammers, they're just laughing all the way to the bank. And oh my gosh, the souvenir shops near Hotel Villa Mahal, Kalkan are like the worst. They'll sell you fake stuff or switch the good stuff with bad stuff, and you'll be like,